Hi, this is Mhairi and this is my vlog. Happy New Year, welcome back. I've been in the Highlands of Scotland under a deluge. It has been raining non-stop and there was a leak in the roof, but I managed to escape intact, although my computer almost didn't. It got a bit damp, but thanks for asking, we're all alright. And I stared glaikit into the fire, which is what you do in the Highlands in the winter, darling, over Christmas, and it was wonderful. And I hope you had a really good time too. Played a myriad of games and whatnot, and you know, yeah, we played a really good accent game, which is to be recommended. It's very hard to do a Swedish accent, I will tell you that straight up. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is beliefs, because, actually the verb to believe, you know, what that actually means, because at this time of year, a lot of times people will have New Year's resolutions and hopes and dreams for the year. And as do I. I mean, for me and Holly, it's all about selling the show this year and putting that into action. And there's a lot to do, obviously there's a lot to do, a lot of to-do lists and all that, but before, there can be a thing in New Year, I think, with you have a huge amount of expectations and the first week starts and you just think, right, I have to just start immediately running through my list of what I want to do this year. And that can be, I think, a potential recipe for not achieving what you really want to achieve. Because before you bang through your list of getting a six-pack or running the world or whatever you're going for, you have to really, I think, get quiet and think, what do I really believe can happen this year? And do I really believe it can happen? Because sometimes when we've been disappointed in the past, that can leak in a bit to our new year and we can sort of second guess. And maybe it's a little bit on shaky foundations, our belief of our New Year's wants and resolutions. And, you know, I mean, I go to yoga a lot and see a lot of people in yoga in the first couple of weeks in January, and then it fizzles out by February. And I think in order to safeguard you maybe losing hope with your dreams or starting with gusto and falling by the wayside, you know, by the 15th of Jan, it is a good time to take a few more days, but to get very clear with whether you believe that you can do it. And if you somehow don't believe you can fully do it, then question that and do a little bit of investigation. I mean, I'm no therapist and this is not about Carl Jung or anything, but I would say it is best to really get to the core of where your beliefs are about what you want to achieve. Because your beliefs are really powerful. Like, you know, I mean, my therapist does say having even an iota of doubt is like a grain of sand in your watch and it just won't work. And if you don't believe, then there's no point. It's all just wax lyrical, isn't it? It's banging on through a bullhorn, nobody home. A bit like the Wizard of Oz. But the idea of belief is so strong. And, you know, to be reminded of this, I thought about a story of my friend whose father worked for a while in Nigeria. And this is how strong belief is. Once you set your mind to something, for good or bad, that can happen. Because my friend's dad was working in Nigeria, right, you know, for an oil company like Shell or BP, I can't remember which. And they employed a lot of local people, and he became very good friends with a few of the guys that worked there locally. And one day he noticed one of the guys wasn't at work. So he went to this guy's village and wanted to see if he was okay. And the guy was lying in his hut, and he said that he was going to die at the weekend because he had been cursed. And he so believed that he was going to die that he was just literally lying there waiting for it to happen. And my friend's dad, Peter, went and got a doctor and brought the doctor to visit this man, said, you know, check him out and make sure that, is he ill? Can we give him medicine? And the doctor checked him all out and he came out and he said, he's perfectly fine, physically nothing wrong with him, but he so believes that he's going to die by the weekend that he probably will. And you know what he did? He died at the weekend. And it was so shocking, and to sort of realise the weight of that, it can go either way. It's like that thing where they say, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And I don't want to start the year in a morbid story, darling. You know, that was obviously his story. It doesn't need to be yours or mine. But I wanted just to start the year with the idea of belief and thinking about how strong that is, and to be really honest with yourself quietly in January when it's dark and quiet and stormy and whatnot. Ideal time to think about belief and what you believe can happen this year. And anyway, so there we go. Let's start the conversation.